2024 has been a wild and crazy year as far as professional wrestling goes. We have had a veritable cornucopia of matches that have ranged to really, really good, all the way to, well, that's about what we expected, all the way to over here. I'm going to talk about the matches that made me question why the fuck I ever became a fan of professional wrestling. My goddamn goodness, invisible pile of matches over there that I wrote down on this list. Ow. I'm here to talk about them, and I can't wait to get all vitriolic. I think that's a word. I'm John Rentham with the 15 worst matches of the 2024 list with a couple honorable mentions. Let me know your least favorite matches in the comments, please. And I do want to say in regards to a lot of the end of year stuff that I have been recording, you will see them pop up. I'm recording them in a block. World's End hasn't happened yet. And to be perfectly honest, I don't expect much to happen at World's End. Except maybe for certain things to end, like my interest in AEW pay-per-views. If any of these matches are any indication, but that being said, couple honorable mentions. The Wyatt Six versus American Made from Raw on the 9th of September. I think this was a day I saw a Regal Mystery movie, and I remember not liking this because, look, there are people that like the Wyatt stuff. I know it's a tribute to Bray. That's great. Guess what? I'm sorry, it isn't for me. And this American-made stuff had potential. They might as well just forget about pushing the creeds because they're fucking losers. Ivy, bless her, I don't know how believable it can be. And Chad is fucking damaged goods. And the Wyatt stuff, it's a tribute act. It's like Spinal Tap. Hello, Cleveland. I don't actually know if that was Spinal Tap. So then we go to the Bucks and FTR in a ladder match at Dynasty for the tag titles, because this is a way to get FTR under and kill your tag division. Put the belts back on the Bucks. Name one positive thing that the Bucks have brought to AEW programming in the last couple of years. Genuinely, name it. Because that beatdown Tony Khan went nowhere. Evil EVPs, nobody believes them because they can't cut a goddamn halfway decent promo, and none of their shit has worked. And it's not going to work. It will never work. It was mass hypnosis before. It has not worked in a number of years. People see through it. They're older, slower, and dimmer with dumber hair pieces. So let's get to number 15. Jericho and Sammy against Starks and Big Bill in a street fight at Battle of the Belts 9. In addition to the fact that basically Starks was taking all kinds of insane, stupid goddamn bumps for no goddamn reason. And no wonder he was so goddamn beat up and frustrated. Big Bill doesn't really mean anything. Jericho and Sammy don't mean shit because Sammy, no matter how much he tries to act crazy, don't you think I'm loco, he isn't very interesting anymore. Because he's dumbed himself out of position and he might as well just continue to do flip-de-doo-dah shit because that's the only way he might get a few people in the crowd to react. And a few people is all they're drawing for their television. But yeah, this is pretty goddamn bad. We're sticking with AEW for number 14, by the way. And I'm going to blitz through some of these because I've done full reviews of all these events. Well, I mean, most of them. We have Chuck Taylor versus Trent Beretta. It's a parking lot brawl on Rampage on the 27th of April. And I believe this is Taylor's last match because he had a bad ankle injury and he had to retire. You could argue that he really wasn't much of a wrestler to begin with. And Trent hasn't meant anything. And Trent has a neck injury. So I think, because Trent's been out for quite a while. I know he came back from an injury, and he's out again. So this whole thing was rendered goddamn pointless. And it was just more stupid weapon stuff and on a taped show that didn't really mean anything. Even if it was a live Rampage and they wanted to do something, it wouldn't have fucking mattered. All this stuff just highlights the fact that Tony Khan has no goddamn control. Number 13, Joe Gacy versus Dijak in an Asylum match. Remember when Dijak was a big old beast and then got hit in the dick by a goddamn boxing glove out of a box? Yeah. And I'm sorry this Joe Gacy stuff didn't work for me. I don't hate the guy. I don't even hate Dijak. But it wasn't good. It was not good at all. It's just more cartoonish bullshit. Number 12, Wesley and Mr. Wentz. Wentz. Is it Carson Wentz? Zachary Wentz? Carson Wentz. I think that's a quarterback. Yeah, they had a street fight on the NXT CW debut on October 1st. And yeah, in addition to Wentz basically crashing and burning because he missed spots and Wesley trying his best to be a vicious heel, and he's embraced it and done well for himself, let's be perfectly honest, This was just more trash-filled stuff that really highlighted that NXT, at its best, does some good stuff, and at its worst, will do shit like this. So we get to number 11, and I'm going to actually bring a guest on for this. We're going to bring somebody on here for number 11, because number 11 is Jack Perry versus Darby. And you remember this coffin match, because I actually brought you in so you could see this. And I said, look at the stupid shit that Darby's going to do. And Darby did do stupid shit, didn't he? Because he decided to do stupid bumps in Jack Perry. You don't like Jack Perry. You're taller than Jack Perry when you get your paws stretched all the way up on the counter. Adopt, don't shop, by the way, guys. Just wanted to say that. But Jack Perry, the scapegoat, and Darby, who is now determined apparently to die on Mount Everest instead of in the ring. He wants to go climb Mount Everest later in 2025 for no fucking goddamn reason. So, yeah, Jack Perry. Why in the world did they keep featuring Jack Perry? You saw the footage that they did with CM Punk, and it didn't do any good in the television show. It's gotten worse, hasn't it? So let's look at number 10. Number 10 is Kalani Jordan and Wendy Chu. I showed you this. This was at No Mercy. You couldn't believe that they let this match go so long. Because let's be perfectly honest, it shouldn't have gone that long. Wendy's gimmick has not worked. Kalani, bless her. Kalani is a very good athlete, but trusting her to carry this, or Wendy, an alleged experienced athlete, trying to carry this, it didn't work at all, did it? No. And the crowd shit on the match because they didn't like the gimmick, or the work, or any of it. He's going to kill me, by the way, once I stop this. So let's just move on from that, and let's go to the fact that, yeah, Kalani Jordan and Wendy Chu basically had a really, really shit match. And I'm sorry. I mean, I know some people like Wendy, and I'm not even saying that either woman is bad. I think Kalani has potential. She did good as the first women's North American champion, but this was garbage. Number 9, Moxley versus Finlay versus Ospreay in a global 3-way. Even though Ospreay was one of my favorite wrestlers of the year, or maybe my best, you'll have to see. Yeah, it was a global 3-way, the global championship. You know, after they got rid of the Intercontinental Championship for no reason and decided, we're going to go global. Yeah, they're kind of resembling Global Force in the sense that they can't figure out creative shit. They can't draw nothing, and they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Here's our Wrestle Kingdom 18. This is at Wrestle Kingdom. This is at their big premium Super Bowl event. And it was bad. One, because Finlay's involved. And I'm sorry, David Toe Finlay is never going to draw a goddamn dime for that company. I don't think he's awful in the ring, but I think him and Juice were a good team. And bless him, he's trying to lean in to being the leader of Bullet Club War Dogs. Or Bullet Club whatever. It was stupid. It was stupid, and this whole thing has not worked. Speaking of not working, number 8, the Women's War Games match. Go to my Survivor Series match, or Survivor Series review, and see what I said about this. Nia Jax stunk it up. Even ones that are pretty goddamn good really stunk it up. Candice LeRae might as well have just moonsaulted out of the goddamn cage, and she would have hit Bayley more than she hit her doing a moonsault onto the chairs, somehow. This was really, really, really fucking shitty. I mean, the men's was not perfect, but at least it had a pretty good story. They really should have just made this an elimination match and just had it go 25 minutes. And it would have worked. You could have built shit up. But no, you couldn't do that. And they had the women, the face team, with the advantage in War Games, which defeats the purpose. Number 7, Britt versus Mercedes, all in London. This killed the women's division. Boy, did it ever. Britt can't work. Mercedes needs somebody that can work with her. And if we're being quite honest, Britt had that whole look like, I don't want a job. I was here, day one and everything. Yeah, and you barely have evolved since then. That heel persona worked wonders for her, but then you realize maybe it wasn't that much of a goddamn persona. Britt and Mercedes on the complete opposite side of the coin, where you had Mariah and Tony tearing it up, and you had Jamie Hayter fucking return on the pre-show, because Britt doesn't want to work with her, allegedly. But Britt and Mercedes, not that much of this would have worked anyway, but you had Mercedes come out with a bunch of corgis. I believe she has a corgi. I think her and Bayley share custody of a corgi. I don't remember what the name is. That being said, corgis aside, this match was shit. Number 6. Eddie Kingston's team against Gabriel Kidd's team at, I believe it was Windy City Riot, if I remember right. I think so. On the same night, Stephanie Vakur and Asmin or whatever the heck it is, they had this, like, massive street fight bullshit thing that went absolutely nowhere. Absolutely nowhere, because you had Gabriel Kidd is a fucking blithering idiot. I mean, I'm sorry. I will never get over how fucking annoying he is. Not even as a heel. He's just annoying. Like, I'm like, really? This is who they're featuring? And Eddie, bless him, is not a young man anymore and needs to take care of himself and probably isn't going to be back in the goddamn ring until at least the summer of 2025, if he's lucky. He might not even be back until early 2026. Hope he takes that opportunity to get his mind right, get his body right and everything. It's terrible what happened to him. But yeah, this was just dog shit, weapons-filled stuff that apparently New Japan thinks that they should be doing. Which they shouldn't. Nor should they be pushing Gabriel Kidd. Or a lot of people in Bullet Club. Number 5, United Empire against the War Dogs. Dog Pound Cage match. I believe this is where Hanare really caused himself to bleed quite a bit. Bless Hanare. This is right before, I think, Alex Coughlin suddenly decided to quit. But new beginning in Osaka, and it was a stupid cage match. It was terribly done. It was terribly formatted. It was like an hour long, or at least it felt like it was 2 hours long. And I remember just hating this. And you can laugh at a little bit of it, but you can't say that this was good. I mean, you can say it was good. I'm just not going to agree with you. Felt bad for the United Empire. At least I felt, well, I mean, I don't know about TJP. I don't know if anybody feels bad about TJP. Not even his parents. Number 4, Blood and Guts on Dynamite. Who asked for this? Genuinely, who asked for this? Who asked for Blood and Guts to be this bad and this long? With all these participants that could have meant something. I believe it was Team Elite versus Team AEW. You had various people get blood, and various people do stupid shit and whatever, and just... I'm genuinely trying to remember all the participants for this, because I would have wrote this down, but I just did not feel like looking that up, but all I remember is a bunch of nonsensical bullshit with so many stupid weapon spots and so many pointless things where they had... I believe they brought in staple guns. They kept bringing in because they kept doing the War Games-like stuff. Which, yes, I will give AEW credit. They don't have a roof on there. Or, no, wait. They do have the roof on there. It's WWE that doesn't. Because AEW actually does the roof thing, and they do that right. They do a few things right, but then bringing in tons of weapons doesn't improve your match. Doesn't make it better. Actually, all it ends up making it is just complete garbage-filled shit that you should be running in a rec center. And the fact is, they didn't draw shit for this. It's sad. So, I'm not pounding all on AEW, by the way, because I'm going to go with at least one more from WWE. We're going Jim Uso versus Jey Uso, WrestleMania 40 Night 1. Defend this, Bloodline fans. Please defend this. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have had a match. They should have just had one better than this. And this was bad. This was really, really fucking bad. I can't say anything else. The story wasn't even, good. They couldn't get people invested. I don't know what the fuck they were trying to do. Number 2, I'm cheating a little bit. Jericho versus Hook. Because they really thought that stretching this feud out for a while was a good idea. Jericho, once again, sucking the life out of anybody younger because he has no goddamn ability to get over and stay over on his own. Number 1, Anarch Queef in the arena. Hey, remember when Jack Perry got set on fire and then Darby was hung there on a, and just hanging around and getting beat up and super kicked, and this match went on forever, and they made fun of the final countdown. Do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do-do, do-do-do-do. Remember all this? Remember all this, bullshit? Jack Perry getting set on fire. Did I say that? That'd be just, my God. My God, what a trash heap this match was. I almost swore off watching AEW pay-per-views after this. I mean, I really almost did. But that's really all I have to say right there. It's just, my God. I did more best matches By the way, in case you guys noticed, because I actually struggled to come up with 15, but then I realized I could just knock a few things. AEW has had some of the best matches of 2024, in my personal opinion. But they've also had a lot of self-inflicted wounds and a lot of bullshit, and have basically set their audience on fire. So nevertheless, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter, Letterboxd, and Blue Sky handles in the description. I'm John Rethlin. I'll see you soon.